And we are back. And I have someone else this time. Want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's William. I'm from Tucson. I'm 19 years old, going to college. I'm a physics major. And, yeah, that's really all I've got to say about myself right now.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm bad at self-introduction, just like Esau is.
And still, you're somehow better than everyone else I've tried to do anything like this with. Someone just introduced themselves as just, "Hi, I'm Brayden." And then silence.
Well, so they did better than that then. Oh look, I think we're about to meet Rin.
Hey, don't spoil it for people.
Sorry about that. But I mean, I get so excited because best girl in the game, by far. And if you disagree, well, I respect your opinion, but you're wrong. And there she is.
With probably the catchiest tune-ins in the game.
Oh, absolutely, I love it.
Also, I guess that answers the question I was going to ask you before you started talking. I now know who your favorite girl in the game is. Is that also your favorite path?
What was that?
I know who your favorite girl in the game is, obviously Rin, from what you said. Is that also your favorite path?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's just got... There's so much great character development for both Rin and Isao. And I just... Like, the part where he talks about how he cries for the first and only time over his conditions, that got me right here.
And now I'm gonna feel bad, because we're not doing her path.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well,
Rin is still fantastic in everything that she's in.
matter of fact, does she appear at all in Lily's path? I don't think so. Terribly sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Well. Okay, now we know who your favorite girl is. Who's your least favorite?
That's hard to say. I definitely know that my least favorite route is Shizune's. Just because, I don't know, I feel like they didn't handle Misha's depression very well, and it just didn't have a lot going for it. Like, I didn't feel like Isao and Shizune had a particularly profound relationship like you see in all the other routes.
And nothing happens in it.
Yeah, right? Like, it's just a big clusterfuck of just random events that don't really tell any sort of coherent story at all. It's just a sort of slice of life in high school, which is really boring because high school is terrible.
Well, it's kind of a braver route. It's like, yeah, all these other routes, they hit you right in the feels and stuff. Then you play Shizune's route, and it takes you back to a much more mellow state.
Yeah, I guess it takes you back.
Well, yeah.
Like, it takes you back to a time when your heart wasn't getting ripped out of your chest and stomped into the ground.
Oh god, what have I done? Yep. It's gonna serve what?
Have you read Shizune's route in the Katawa Shoujo pre-release?
I can't get it to work.
What's up?
I can't get it to work.
Can't get what to work?
The pre-release.
Oh, Shizune's route is so much better in the pre-release. Like,
I've heard a few things from it.
It destroys you more than pretty much anything. Because, I don't want to spoil it, but
Hey, you can spoil it, I was joking before. I don't really care for spoilers. And anyone that's watching this probably has already seen all the paths.
Alright, so, just a heads up, this is a spoiler alert. In the pre-release, Misha commits suicide.
Why?
Because, honestly, it was a really, like, it had to do with her unrequited love for Shizune, but it was also a more complicated issue than that. And it destroyed me. Completely. Because Misha Mikado is the best. Like, okay, not as good as Rin. No one's as good as Rin, but I mean...
You sound a little biased there.
On an entirely different plane of existence. But I mean, on this plane of existence, Misha Mikado, best character. such a happy girl, and then just kills herself. And it's awful.
And isn't the bad ending for that Shizune also kills herself?
What? I haven't read the bad route yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what
Yeah, I
happens.
can see that, because I mean, yeah, I can definitely imagine that's what would happen in the bad route.
Man, they would. Well, from what I've heard of the pre-release, it's just a lot darker than the actual release.
Yeah. In some cases it can be. Like, I know one instance where it wasn't was Lily's route, because Lily's route was really boring. Well, no. The story itself for Lily's route in the pre-release is really boring. But each individual scene was probably the most entertaining writing I've ever seen. And it's like, just all the characters have these really fun dynamics. But overall, nothing actually happens. And then they did this weird thing where, like, if you make a certain decision, then you actually wind up on Hanako's route. So, like, after you've been in Lily's route for, like, 2 acts, it suddenly switches to Hanako. And that was weird. Not gonna lie.
Okay, now I'm really tempted to play through that.
Oh, you definitely should, because in that ending for Hanako that branches off of Lily's route, it's honestly, I think it's a lot better than what happens in the final, because she's just, Hanako, she winds up being a much less dependent on Hisao. Like, in the final, I feel like Hisao is, like, sheltering her,
Yeah,
whereas in the pre-release, it's more like he helps her to come out of her shell, so that she can start forming a stronger relationship with other people other than Hisao and Lily. And that was really great. And also, she gets closure with respect to the death of her parents, which she never gets in the final season.
now I gotta play this, because I didn't actually like Hanako's route that much.
Yeah, like, I love Hanako, but there's a lot of problematic stuff about that route. Like,
It's 2.5 routes of just building psychological walls, and then they all come down and you get half a route just to admire that, and then it ends.
yeah, it's just like, the good ending that branches off of Lily's route, like, it just seems much more natural the way the psychological walls come down. Like, and it's a much healthier relationship, I feel. Like, they're much less codependent.
And I bet it would still trip quite a few Hanako fanboys up.
What was that?
I bet it would still trip some Hanako fanboys up.
Oh, probably, yeah.
We must protect her! Why am I in the bad ending? Oh. Anyway, I don't think we've talked about a single thing about what's actually happening for the past, like,
Yeah,
6
I
minutes.
noticed that a little bit ago. We're not talking about this video at all. Let's see,
Well,
where are we now? Okay, so,
Shizune's telling off Rin for sleeping on the tables.
you know, considering that Hisao and Shizune fuck on one of the tables at some point, I really feel like she doesn't have a right to call Rin out on this.
Hey, it hasn't happened yet. Remember, we're still in Act
Well,
1.
Well, yeah, but she's clearly willing to.
Yes, but you see, she has more power than everyone else. She doesn't have to follow the rules.
This is very true. I don't know. Shizune's a fun character, but kind of a power-hungry bitch. And I don't use that term lightly. Like, I don't have a problem with women with power. It's just, she's the kind of person who has absolutely no regard for the needs of other people. Like, she isn't cruel per se, but she has no value for the needs of other people beyond their productivity. And I feel like it's a serious issue.
Well, that's also one of the reasons why I like her, and she's probably my second favorite girl in the game. because she does figure that stuff out in her route, and I thought if that was explained a little more, I would like that path a lot more than it was.
Yeah, like, Shizune's route could have been a lot better with a lot more character development for her.
Or just character
Like-
development in general for people, not just, oh yeah, I figured this out. Not gonna change anything I do, but I know I'm like this.
What was that?
Well, it's kind of like everyone figures out their flaw, but no one kind of acts on it in any way. They're just like, yeah, I'm dodgy. Still gonna do exactly what I normally do.
Yeah, it's like, Shizune's route was just a mess.
And now I'm kind of tempted to just replay this and record Shizune's route, so we can just keep talking about this.
Yeah. Oh, here we have the nurse. Am I the only one who's really bothered by the nurse's theme music? Like, there's just something off-putting about it.
But can't you hear that saxophone that's about to come in?
Yeah, the saxophone is cool, but even still, it's just... I'm almost tempted to say that it sounds like something from the soundtrack of a really, really bad porn.
And I think that just adds to his cheesiness factor. Because I can't take this guy seriously.
Yeah, like, it's very difficult to take the nurse seriously, especially with this music playing. It's just like, the first time I played through this game, I was liking the soundtrack, and then we met the nurse for the first time. I'm just like, what the fuck am I listening to?
You're on the exact opposite spectrum from someone else that was helping me with this before.
What?
I essentially sold them on the game just from this song alone.
Oh. Alright then.
Yeah. Also, just... Okay, when this question that's about to come up came up first, what was your answer? Like, when he asked you to exercise? Like, your first
First
playthrough?
time, I said, yes.
Good.
Like, the first time I played through this game, I accidentally wound up with Demi. Like, I wasn't...
Let's go!
Like, I wasn't planning on winding up with any of them. I was just answering the questions, and I wound up on Emmy's room. And I fucked that up pretty badly.
Oh,
like,
how did you screw that up?
Well, it's just, the problem was that when Muto wanted to talk to me about, like, quarks and shit, I chose to blow him off and go talk to Emmy. So when I did that, I wound up not getting a decision during the scene where they're at Emmy's house, where you get to choose to either go after Emmy or stay with Emmy's mom.
Yeah, but then Misha shows up and it's like, do you want to fix your relationship or do you want to lie?
Yeah, I thought it'd be best to keep Misha and Shizune out of it because they just kind of ruin everything they touch, but...
But it wasn't both of them, it was just Misha, and she's been trying to help you through the path.
Yeah, I'm not proud of the decisions I made the first time I played through this game, okay?
And because you did that, you missed out on my personal favorite scene in the entire game. Like...
So, I eventually did go back and fix things. Like, I've seen every scene in the game, so...
I've seen every scene in the game, and gotten 100% twice, because I accidentally deleted my save file.
Ah, that sounds awful.
I played through every path, and I did it in the worst way possible. I did every good path first, then I did every bad path. I should have done it the other way around.
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, how it went down with me was I played randomly, wound up with Emmy, fucked that up pretty badly. Then I decided to use walkthroughs because I couldn't deal with that trauma again for a while. So, I don't remember what order I played them in now that I try to think about it.
Well, at least I know one thing. You and me both ended up on the same first path. Because I think everyone's just like, oh, I got a heart condition, I should probably exercise and fix that.
Yeah, like, I feel like the game just naturally biases you towards going with Emmy first. And it's weird. Like, the first time I did a complete playthrough of all the 5 routes, Emmy was like my second favorite girl in the game. Like
Still my favorite.
It went Rin, then Hanako and Emmy were tied for second, then Lily, and then Shizune. But like the second time I played through it all, like it just completely switched. Of course, Rin was still at the top and Shizune was still at the bottom, but like for whatever reason, Lily just was so much better the second time around. Like she just rocketed ahead of both Emmy and Hanako. And I found that Emmy's route actually kind of bored me the second time around.
And that makes me sad.
I'm sorry.
She is my waifu. I will protect her with my waifu.
Oh, I do love Emmy's character. Like, she's fantastic. So, like, I think part of why I liked Emmy's route so much the first time was that even though you can kind of guess what happened to her dad, you still don't know for sure. Like, it could still... There are a number of different possibilities.
Well, I'm a natural cynic, so I automatically picked up on, oh, your dad's dead. Oh, you're in an accident. They were probably connected in some way. And I just spent the entire movie going, Hosea, you're an idiot! At least think of them together for once, instead of, oh yeah, they must be 2 separate events.
Yeah. I don't know, I think Emmy's route is really good the first time around, but the second time reading it, I couldn't get into it as much as I could before. Whereas Lily...
But it has sassy Hoseo!
Like, what?
But it has sassy Hoseo!
I can't hear you, what?
It has sassy Hoseo. Like, he's actually happy, and makes jokes and stuff, instead of being all mopey and depressed.
True. I mean, he makes jokes with Lily, too.
Yeah, but he also goes into serious mode really quickly. Normally after having a heart attack, so I guess that is justified, but... You know, he could have tried fixing that at some point.
Yeah. It's true that Hito probably is happier more often in Emmy's route, but I don't know, does Hito really need to be happy? He's kind of a dick.
Well, I want everyone to be happy. That's why I chose Lily's route, because I actually believe it is the ultimate, it's like the golden ending. My proof is it has an extra scene if you get the good ending, like after the credits.
Oh yeah, Lily's, yeah, cause like
everyone's happy. Like,
Emmy
doesn't run as much, so she doesn't end up in a wheelchair and have her nightmares. Hanako is less sheltered and becomes, like, a lot more social and makes friends. Lily learns to stand up for herself and actually makes decisions. Shizune learns nothing, and because she's already a fairly competent person, if a little bossy. And Rin doesn't end up in, like, psychological torment because you entered an art show. So yeah. Everything turns out for the best.
Yeah. Everything really turns out for the best in the Hanako route that branches off of Lily's in the pre-release. Because, like, at one point there's a scene where all of the, like, literally every single girl, all the main girls are all interacting together. And, like, Hanako somehow was able to turn everyone into best friends in that. And I was just like, this is fantastic. And all of these characters being together all at once, it's insane. It's an absolute clusterfuck. But it just, they all had so much fun together. And for once, Lily and Shizune weren't at each other's throats.
Oh.
And just all the girls were getting along, and it was beautiful.
Well, it seems the part's over. Okay.
Oh. Alright.
We'll continue this next time. Back for part 6. Bye.